How's it going, everyone? It's Louis Crypto here. I'm back with another Gala update. In yesterday's Gala update, we were beneath the 55 moving average. As of that update, we said that price needed to hold these key levels of support to then continue higher. The key levels that we marked out was this previous shoulder, head, shoulder. So this right shoulder of this head and shoulders pattern over here to the left. We said that we needed to hold that support. And in yesterday's video, we were already bouncing. So it already held it as support. It was just attempting to break past the 55. I entered a position before, sometime last night. I've completely forgotten when exactly. But I entered a position in the evening. And it was a buy position, basically signaling for a pump into that moving average, and we profited very nicely on that. So we're going to review that today. We're going to keep it nice and sweet and short today, so make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe. Over half of you unfortunately haven't, and it'd be much appreciated if you could. We'd be on the road to 7k, as well as liking and commenting underneath this video to bump up that algorithm. Now, if we turn on those drawings, we can see my little trade over here, which was essentially a position after bouncing off of this key area support, which I marked in the previous days as we were coming down to it, resulting because of this fake out. We were suggesting that as we pump through this moving average, price should continue higher and higher, but we had a fake out where we closed back underneath. So I was essentially saying on that day that Gala need to come back down to test this key level support and hold them. We did that very nicely, but then we needed a further break back above this ascending triangle support. Otherwise, as I mentioned previously, we could lose this area and come down to the range low over here. This would still be a higher low, so it wouldn't be a worry, and then we'd try and come back up like this. But essentially that didn't happen, although you were prepared if it was to be the case. That's what we do around here. We like to prepare for both scenarios. But today we're looking at this trade, which I think I entered on the 30-minute time frame. Let me go to the 4 hour, because it might have been the 4 hour. No, it was the 4 hour time frame. I must have been watching it on the 30-minute. So it was very late at night. It was about 1 a.m. I think it was. Let me just double check. Yeah, so this was the 9 p.m. candle, which closes, as you can see, the direct next one opens at 1. So this one closed at 1 a.m. And that is pretty much where I entered. Reason for entry is we were consistently holding the moving averages. Every time we come down and reset this uptrend, we then put in a new high. So I wasn't too confident of that new high being put in, just in case there's a correction on Bitcoin. However, my target was, of course, the first lot of resistance. So yes, if we were to hold this support, this is continuing the uptrend. We should eventually see higher price targets than this. But there was a worry for me that, this is just a corrective move up to continue lower if we were to get a correction in the coming future. So my target personally, if we look to the left over here, was in and around this area. So you can see that wick and that wick. This is pretty much where I targeted. It's exactly the same reasoning for my Bitcoin trade as well. However, I don't believe that this was a technical target out of a pattern. We can also see an inverse head and shoulders appearing over here. So another reason for the entry, which was right there on the breakout essentially. And we can see that we broke out, back tested it as support, and then went for that continuation. So my stop loss was set below essentially that body candle close. I think if I scale down to the lower time frames over here, that is specifically why I've set it over there. We've broken out. I'm looking for this to now hold a support. If it does not hold a support, then the buy trade is wrong, because if this does not hold a support, flips back into resistance and we continue lower, so it would have been wrong. So that's why I tend to put my stop loss on the invalidation of the trade. So yeah, essentially inverse head and shoulders breakout. Let me just check what the target was. I didn't use this as a target. I wasn't even aware of the inverse head and shoulders. But yeah, there you go. We did meet the target. I guess that's technically saying we could have taken the trade to this wick. It would have been a little bit more. But again, I did use about 10x leverage. So this would have meant that my position over here was quite a big stop loss. So there's two styles of leveraging. You can either leverage your whole account and your stop loss becomes whatever the leverage is times this. So let's say 10x the whole account. This would be a 15% loss on the whole account. Otherwise, you can do another style where you can increase the leverage amount by using small portion of the account. Let's say you are using 5% of the account, and then you'll happily put the leverage quite high, so that liquidation instead of stop losses here. So liquidation, which would mean that you would lose that 5% risk if it goes ahead and hits this. So you'd have a pretty much higher leverage than 10x. So this could have been an even better gain if you did it that style. But for me, this was a 30% gain on Gala overnight. And yeah, it was very nice to see us profiting along on that. So yeah, if we scale back to the daily now, we are still at resistance. We just need to push through this area to head higher to eventually meet our ascending triangle technical target up at 336 essentially. So break past this and we get another pump into this golden pocket where I'm expecting a dump, to be honest, so maybe something like this and then go ahead. But again guys, please do understand at the moment the reason why I put my take profit there, as I mentioned before, is because I was worried that we wouldn't break the high and continue higher. So in fact this could still be a corrective move up to continue back down to here. Don't you worry, I will update you guys if anything does happen, so make sure you stay tuned, turn those notification bells on, as everything here is time sensitive. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you need any further assistance, any questions, message me over on my Twitter. The links are in the pinned comment section below, and then you can message me for more guidance, whether you want coaching or a course that you can do in your own time, which you'll gain access to my Discord community totally free for your first 3 months, and then after that you get a 50% discount. Thank you guys, I'll catch you in the next one, and as always, peace.